No is one of the smallest words in the English language, yet it carries the weight of mountains. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it doesn't always shake the ground when it's spoken, but make no mistake, it is powerful beyond measure. The ability to say no is not just a skill. It's a strength, a statement, a declaration of clarity and purpose. And those who master it are the ones who soar past the distractions, who rise above the noise, who step out of the maze of obligations and into the light of focused success. Success doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things for your goals, your growth, your soul. And if you're always saying yes, yes to other people's expectations, yes to every invitation, yes to every shiny opportunity, you're watering every plant except your own, you're trying to please everyone while abandoning your own mission. You're running in circles, exhausted, while the path forward lies untouched at your feet. It's not selfish to say no, it's strategic, it's not cruel, it's courageous. The world will pull you in 1,000 directions. People will demand your time, your energy, your attention, often without understanding what it costs you. And if you don't learn how to say no, you'll be drained by default. You'll say yes to mediocrity, to busyness, to burnout. But when you learn to say no, you reclaim your life. You declare that your time matters, your energy matters, your dreams matter. Every no you say to what doesn't serve you is a yes to what does. When you say no to overcommitting, you say yes to peace. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to discipline. When you say no to toxic relationships, you say yes to self-respect. Saying no is not shutting the world out. It's choosing what gets in. It's building a boundary around your brilliance so you can shine without interruption. It's clearing the clutter so your focus can take center stage. The truth is, you can't do everything. You can't be everywhere. You can't meet every expectation, and you don't have to. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who do the most important. They don't waste their energy fighting battles that don't matter. They don't sacrifice their vision to appease the noise. They know what they're here to do, and they protect that purpose with everything they have. They guard their time like gold. They choose their commitments with intention. They've mastered the art of saying no, not because they don't care, but because they care deeply about the right things. Learning to say no starts with understanding your worth. When you don't know your value, you'll feel the need to prove it. You'll say yes to be liked, to be accepted, to avoid conflict. But every time you betray your own priorities to please others, you chip away at your confidence. You dilute your power. You become a version of yourself that's built on obligation instead of authenticity. But when you stand in your worth, you stop apologizing for protecting your time. You stop shrinking yourself to fit into other people's plans. You stop saying yes when you mean no. You become unapologetically aligned with your goals. You must remember this. Your time is your life. Every yes is a trade. Every yes costs you something. Time you could spend building. Energy you could use creating. Moments you could invest in growth. Every yes is a sacrifice, so make sure it's a worthy one. Don't let guilt or pressure write the script of your life. Don't let politeness turn into people pleasing. You're not here to live on everyone else's terms. You're here to lead, to rise, to impact. And that means you must become intentional about your yeses and ruthless about your nos. Mastering the art of saying no also means getting comfortable with discomfort. Some people won't like your boundaries. Some won't understand. They might be disappointed. They might question your choices. But their reaction is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to stay true to your path, to honor the commitments you've made to yourself, to protect your mental space, your emotional energy, your creative fire. Saying no isn't about being cold. It's about being clear. It's about making space for what truly matters. It's about being the gatekeeper of your greatness. You don't need to explain every no. You don't need a 10-point justification. A simple, respectful no, thank you, is enough. Your life isn't up for public negotiation. Your purpose isn't a group project. You're allowed to decline without guilt. You're allowed to rest without permission. You're allowed to choose yourself, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment. Because when you choose yourself, you become more of who you're meant to be, and that is the version of you the world needs most. There is a myth that success comes from hustle alone, from saying yes to every grind, every gig, every opportunity. But hustle without clarity is just noise. It's movement without meaning. True success comes from focus, from knowing what you want and cutting out what you don't, from mastering the art of doing less, but better. And that mastery begins with no. No to distractions, no to energy leaks, no to anything that doesn't move you closer to your vision, no to fear disguised as obligation. No to settling for a life that's fine when you were born for greatness. No to living on autopilot. No to drowning in other people's agendas. No to guilt trips. No to pressure. No to unnecessary meetings, toxic friendships, soul draining tasks, and anything else that doesn't feed your purpose. And when you start saying no to what doesn't matter, something powerful happens. You create space, space to breathe, space to think, space to build, space to grow, space to step into your highest potential. You begin to design a life that aligns with your deepest values. You stop reacting and start leading. You stop surviving and start thriving. Think of every great achievement in history, every masterpiece, every innovation, every groundbreaking idea. It wasn't born from being scattered. It wasn't created by someone who said yes to everything. It came from focus, from deep work, from undistracted attention, from someone who knew how to say no to the noise so they could say yes to the mission. That can be you. You can be that focused, that disciplined, that bold. You can build a life of meaning by mastering the art of saying no, not just once, not just occasionally, but as a lifestyle, as a daily commitment, as a strategy for sustained success. And it's not just about career or productivity. It's about peace, joy, presence. When you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what fills you, to what heals you, to what elevates you. You make room for relationships that nourish you, work that excites you, moments that ground you. You stop being everywhere and start being exactly where you're meant to be. You must stop believing that busyness equals worth, that being everything to everyone makes you valuable. Your worth is not measured by your availability. It's measured by your authenticity. And the more you live in alignment with what matters, the more powerful you become. So if you've been afraid to say no, afraid of the backlash, afraid of seeming rude or selfish, take a breath and remember your why. Remember the dreams you've buried under obligations, the goals you've postponed for other people's comfort, the energy you've wasted trying to be all things to all people. It's time to stop. It's time to draw the line. It's time to rise. Say no to fear, no to guilt, no to hesitation, no to being small. Say no so you can finally say yes to yourself, to your calling, to your next level. You are not here to be average. You are not here to be overwhelmed. You are not here to settle for a life that lacks meaning. You are here to lead, to elevate, to become the person you were destined to be. And to do that, you must master the art of saying no. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Every time you say no to what doesn't serve you, you train yourself to say yes to your vision. You build boundaries. You gain clarity, you grow stronger, you move with intention, you lead with conviction, and over time, your life becomes a masterpiece of purpose, driven choices. The world may not always understand, but the right people will. The ones who respect your focus, the ones who honor your boundaries, the ones who see your no not as rejection, but as a sign of deep commitment to something greater. So hold your ground, speak your truth. Guard your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Every no is a seed of success. Every no is a door closed to distraction. Every no is a step toward a future built on your terms. Say no to the chaos. No to the clutter, no to the noise, and then, with that space you've created, with that freedom, you will build, create, lead, and live like never before. When you master the art of saying no, you don't just take control of your schedule, you take control of your destiny. You are no longer a passenger on the road to success. You're the driver. You no longer drift based on who shouts the loudest or who expects the most. Instead, you carve your own path with clarity and purpose. You make decisions not out of fear but out of vision, and every no becomes a compass guiding you closer to who you are meant to become. Too many people live in a state of quiet frustration, overbooked, overwhelmed, overtired, not because they lack time or talent, but because they lack the courage to say no. They say yes out of habit, out of politeness, out of fear of missing out. But the only thing they're missing out on is the life they're supposed to be living. They're drowning in obligations that don't align with their soul. They're building other people's dreams while their own sit on the shelf collecting dust, and deep inside they know something has to change. Let it be you. Let today be the day you stop overcommitting, the day you draw a firm line between what's urgent and what's important, the day you make a vow to protect your purpose with unwavering focus. You are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. You are not required to drain your energy for things that leave you feeling empty. You have the right to say no, not just once, but as often as needed. And don't just say no to external requests. Say no to your own distractions. Say no to the voice in your head that tells you to check your phone one more time. Say no to the habit of procrastination, to the lure of comfort, to the temptation of excuses. Say no to the lies you've told yourself about not being ready. Say no to the fear that tells you it's safer to stay where you are. Say no to playing small, because your life is too important to be lived halfway. This is about reclaiming power, your power, the power to choose where your energy goes, the power to direct your time toward things that truly matter, the power to say, I'm not available for that anymore, without flinching. The power to design your life based on your values, not your fears. When you say no to one thing, you say yes to another, and what you choose to say yes to will determine the quality of your life. Yes to freedom, yes to focus, yes to discipline, yes to creativity, yes to rest, yes to growth, yes to purpose. These are the rewards waiting on the other side of no. Think about how much time and energy you've lost to unnecessary obligations. Think about how many hours you've given away to things that didn't light you up, that didn't align with your goals, that didn't bring you peace. Now imagine taking all that time back. Imagine pouring that energy into your passion, your vision, your self-development. Imagine what you could build, what you could become if you simply said no more often. You don't need more time, you need more boundaries, you need more clarity, you need more courage to protect your priorities. Because when you protect your priorities, you protect your peace. And when you protect your peace, you step into your power. There's nothing noble about being overextended. There's nothing impressive about burnout. There's nothing admirable about saying yes to everything and accomplishing nothing. You're not here to wear yourself out. You're here to light yourself up, and that light shines brightest when it's focused. Focus requires sacrifice. It means letting go of good things to pursue great ones. It means turning down opportunities that don't align with your mission. It means disappointing others sometimes to stay true to yourself. But that's what leadership is. That's what vision demands, and that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. You don't need everyone to understand your no. You just need to be bold enough to say it. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing your peace, your purpose, your path. The people who truly support you will respect your boundaries, and the people who don't, they were never really for you. No is not rejection. No is redirection. No is refinement. No is the sculptor's chisel that carves away the unnecessary so your best self can emerge. No is the gate that keeps distractions out and keeps your destiny safe. Practice it, strengthen it, speak it, let it be your your guide, your shield. Say no with grace. Say no with conviction. Say no with love, for yourself and for the life you are creating. You will face moments of doubt. You will hear the whispers of guilt. You will be tempted to shrink, to comply, to bend. But you must remember what you're building. You must remember the life that's waiting for you on the other side of your discipline. You must remember that every no today is an investment in the future you're creating. And you are creating something powerful, something rare, a life that's not cluttered with obligations, but filled with meaning. A life that's not reactive, but intentional. A life that's not rushed, but rooted in purpose, rooted in values, rooted in the deep knowing that you are here for more peace, more power, more purpose. So let them think you're selfish. Let them call you too focused. Let them wonder why you're not as available as you used to be. They're not building what you're building. They don't see what you see. They don't carry your vision, but you do, and it's your job to protect it. Be willing to be misunderstood. Be willing to walk away. Be willing to close doors, burn bridges, and draw lines if it means standing fully in your truth. Be willing to say no even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because those are the no's that count. Those are the no's that change everything. You have one life, one chance, one journey. Don't waste it on things that drain you. Don't spend it chasing approval. Don't dilute your greatness to keep others comfortable. You weren't born to be everyone's solution. You were born to be a solution to something bigger, to bring your vision to life, to leave a legacy, and that begins with what you choose to say no to. Let your no be powerful. Let it be purposeful. Let it be proof that you are finally choosing yourself, not out of ego, but out of alignment, out of love for your mission, out of reverence for your potential. Say no, and say it with pride, because behind every strong no is a stronger yes to clarity, to peace, to purpose, to progress. Behind every no is a door closed to chaos, and a door open to a life of meaning. Keep your no sacred, use it wisely, speak it bravely. Success will follow not because you're doing more, but because you're doing what matters, not because you're everywhere, but because you're exactly where you're meant to be. Saying no is not a limitation. It is liberation. It is a powerful, decisive step away from the mediocre and toward the extraordinary. It's an invisible line you draw around your energy, your time, your life, and you say, "Only what fuels me may enter." You see, we live in a world that glorifies busy, a culture that praises packed calendars, overflowing to-do lists, and constant availability. But busyness is not the same as progress. Motion is not the same as direction. You can spin your wheels forever and still never move forward. You can say yes to 1,000 things and still miss the one thing that would have changed everything. Success is not about being busy. It's about being intentional. And intention begins with the courage to say no. That courage doesn't show up all at once. It builds. With every small no, your voice gets stronger, your boundaries get firmer, your values get clearer. It's in the daily decisions, the seemingly minor moments when you turn down the extra project, the unnecessary meeting, the unaligned collaboration, the social event that serves no purpose beyond obligation. It's in those moments that you reclaim your life, you shape your future, you become unstoppable. Look at anyone who has done something remarkable, and you'll see a trail of no's behind them. No to distractions. No to doubters, no to the easy road, no to the temptations that would have pulled them off course. Every no they spoke created space for the yes that mattered, the yes to their mission, the yes to their legacy, the yes to becoming everything they were meant to be. That's what's at stake here, not just your time, not just your schedule, but your destiny, your fulfillment, your one precious life, and yes, it takes bravery. Because saying no means setting boundaries, and boundaries can feel like confrontation. But boundaries are not walls, they're bridges to a better life, to healthier relationships, to clearer priorities. Boundaries say, "I love myself enough to protect my purpose." They say, "I respect you, but I respect myself too." They say, "I know what matters most, and I won't let anything less take its place." When you master this art, your confidence grows. Because you're no longer tossed by the waves of obligation, you're anchored, you make decisions not from desperation but from discernment. You choose where your energy goes, and because of that, your energy multiplies. Your focus sharpens, your passion reignites, you move with precision, with clarity, with intention, and people notice. They feel the shift. They may not understand it at first, but they will respect it in time. Because deep down, we all crave authenticity. We all long to be around people who are aligned, purposeful, and present. When you say no to the unnecessary, you make room to show up fully, undistracted, undiluted, and unshakable. This is not about becoming rigid. It's about becoming wise. It's not about rejecting everything. It's about selecting the right things. It's about choosing your battles, choosing your commitments, choosing your life. Because if you don't choose, someone else will, and they will never choose with the same care that you can. No one else knows your calling. No one else sees your vision like you do. No one else feels your fire. That's your responsibility, your gift, your path. You don't owe the world your compliance. You owe it your excellence. You owe it your best. And your best doesn't come from being stretched too thin. Your best comes from focus. From depth, from protecting your time like the priceless asset it is. You are the guardian of your purpose. You are the curator of your commitments. You get to decide what gets a yes, and every yes should be earned. Earned by alignment, earned by impact, earned by significance. Let nothing unworthy take up space in your life. Let no distraction, no pressure, no expectation steal your power. When you say no, you say yes to peace. Yes to health, yes to vision, yes to sleep, to presence, to undivided attention. Yes to living a life of design, not default. Yes to becoming so focused, so grounded, so full of purpose that nothing can pull you off track. This world needs more people like that. People who are not swayed by opinion, not bent by pressure, not distracted by noise. People who know what they are about and aren't afraid to protect it. That can be you. That must be you. And remember, the people who truly value you will understand. They won't be offended by your no, because they'll see the strength behind it. They'll recognize that your boundaries are what allow you to show up as your best self. And they'll be inspired. Your courage will become a permission slip for others to do the same. So start today. Start now. Look at your calendar, your commitments, your obligations, and ask yourself, what is truly aligned? What truly matters? What deserves your yes? And then, with kindness and clarity, start saying no to the rest. With every no, you rise. With every no, you gain momentum. With every no, you build a life that reflects your deepest values. This is how success is built, not through scattered effort, but through sacred focus. Not through pleasing everyone, but through honoring your mission. Not through doing more, but through doing what matters. So say no with strength. Say no with clarity, say no with purpose, and watch what happens. Watch how your life transforms. Watch how your energy multiplies. Watch how your dreams accelerate. Because when you master the art of saying no, you master the art of saying yes to your best life. And there is no greater success than that. And success will follow.